Hello, everyone, and welcome back to your quick drop-in mental health hack of the day. So today's mental health hack, I have literally just put in practice, dug this little number out because, and I didn't even think of doing this for the episode, but I've just come back from a dance class, and dancing for me has been absolute therapy. So we know that movement, psychologically, physiologically, is incredible for our mental health. So we'll be having a movement specialist in to just talk about different things. And, not every movement is made for everybody. And depending on where your nervous system is at the time, if you're dysregulated, certain movements aren't great for you versus the ones that are. Because if you're in fight and flight, doing something that's high cardio, high intensity is just going to aggravate that part of your nervous system and end up making you feel more anxious, more on edge, and less calm. So it's going to do the opposite. But that is for a whole other episode, which I'm really excited to bring to you. In the meantime, for today is progress, not perfection. That is our mental health hack, because in the class today, there, of course, the instructor is a professional. And then one of the other participants who actually owns JDC Dance Company, Janae, very good friend of mine. She's a professional dancer as well and has been since I think she was 4. Well, been dancing since she was 4. I haven't, and the other participants haven't as well. Not trained dancers or haven't danced since we were little. So watching the recording back so that we can practice during the week, we were giggling because of the amount of things that we were doing wrong, and we were concentrating so much so we forgot to include emotion in it and stuff in some parts. Anyway, we were having such a giggle, and then of course kept looking at my friend who is the dancer, who moves so beautifully, and had to say to myself and to all of us, we were cheering each other on, but this is progress. It's not about perfection. Yes, if we want to put a showcase on, that's a different story. But where are you striving for perfection in your life that it is negatively impacting your mental health? So again, I always share my story here, just so that you can see that this isn't a foreign idea or foreign concept. This is something that I have lived and worked through. So these are tools that I personally implement in my life. And that's where I've seen the shift. And these are tools that I share in my coaching sessions as well. And obviously there it's a bit different because I will hold space for whoever I am coaching, call them out on things, give them perspective, guidelines, next steps, etc. But the idea of perfection, we know that perfection is a myth. It's a lie. It does not exist. Even in creation, nature, there is no such thing as perfection. Every leaf that appears to be perfect is imperfect in some way. And that is the beauty of it. That's the individualism of it. That's the uniqueness of it, just exactly the same as us humans. Our fingerprints are all unique and individual to us, but somehow we would want them to be perfect, just like the rest of us. And I know the pressure that I experienced my whole life with trying to be and aiming to be perfect, which was never enough. So if I got, 98% in a test or an exam or an assignment, why didn't I get the 100? If I got 88%, why didn't I get 90? I always kept falling short. And my parents were the biggest cheerleaders and wanted the best for me, which many parents do. And, they encouraged me, and what can we do to help you to get the A plus or to get the gold star or to be in the top 10? Or so that level of encouragement was incredible and so beautiful and so nurturing. And I'm so grateful for that. But in the same breath, when you're young, you don't understand that, or our minds interpret it as, well, unless I get the gold star, I'm not good enough. Now, there's a lot to unpack there. So where are you making yourself wrong for not being good enough, for not getting it good, right, and perfect? I was like that with presentations, with proposals for clients. A TED Talk. So you may not know this about me, but I gave a TED Talk, TEDx. I'm not a TEDx speaker because I asked them to take down the video. I don't even know if they took it down, but I asked them to not even showcase it, to take it down if it was up already. because I kept rewriting my talk literally until a few seconds before I got onto the stage, because I was trying to make it perfect. I put so much significance on this thing to be a TEDx speaker, which for me is right up there in terms of accomplishments. So I was rewriting the thing for weeks, and literally just before I walked on stage. And when I got into stage, my mind was so busy and so cluttered because I changed it so much that I lost track. Everyone else was saying, what a great talk. That was really great. But for me, I felt like I was all over the place. And my favorite word, discombobulated, is how I felt inside. So my mouth was going and it was making sense, but it was not what I wanted to put forward. So that's where trying to be good, right, and perfect completely bit me in the butt. So where I could have had a TEDx talk up now for you to watch, and it could have been a beautiful achievement for me, I now do not have. So what I've learned over the years is, sometimes your 80% is your 100%. And on some days where maybe you're not having a great day and you can only manage to give 40%, but you gave it your best go that day, then it means that that day, your 40%, because you gave it your all, was your 100%. But we make ourselves wrong in saying, I didn't show up today. I didn't do the best that I could. I did the bare minimum. I should have done all these things on my to-do list. I set all these expectations for myself, and I'm falling short in life consistently. And that's when we start self-criticism. And the more you criticize yourself, the less confidence you have in yourself, which starts affecting your self-worth, your self-confidence, which then becomes that vicious cycle all over again. So today, I'd like to encourage you to write this down, stick it up somewhere if you have to. Progress, not perfection. Because one step forward, and sometimes not even in the right direction, just a step forward. If you feel like you've been stuck, just a step forward is a step forward. It doesn't matter how small that step is. The point is you're taking a step, you're taking action, you're moving forward. And it might not work out and you might take 2 steps back, but that'll only means that the 2 steps back, when you go forward again, you're only actually 1 step behind. And you're never behind. Oh, there's a little moth flying around. You're never behind, right? Because you're always starting from a point of a different perspective, of some kind of learning or some kind of insight. So for you to be able to take that step, get out of your own way. Where are you sabotaging yourself because you feel like you don't have it good, right, and perfect? You haven't figured it out. None of us have it figured it out at all. When I say yes to some projects that I have never done before, but clients have the confidence in me because they've seen the other work I do, I say yes because I know I'll figure it out. It might not be my best work if it's the first time I'm trying something, but that's the point. It's a skill we're learning. Me coming from this burlesque class, I've never done this before. So it's a skill. For me to put so much pressure on myself after the second class to remember all the moves in high heels, can I add a stiletto of note to, there's so much stuff to coordinate and remember. And before I would have made myself so wrong and not posted anything. Speaking of which, all these videos that I'm doing now, in the past, I would have re-recorded countless versions because I would have felt like I said the word too many times, which I know I do, and it's something I'm working on. Or I wasn't as fluid as I would have wanted to be. Or I said something that sounded a little bit strange and I wanted to do it again. I would have sat for hours re-recording, where now I show up. And yes, there are times where I need to, reshoot it for whatever reason, but I'll do it once and then that's it, or one more time at least, and then that's it. Because the idea is what I'm wanting to share with you. Is this going to be perfect? Maybe one day when I've got a full studio, a full team behind me. But if I was waiting for the team, for someone to set up everything for me to have the best sound equipment, the best microphone, the best camera, the best lighting, the styling, I do not have all those hours in the day to make this a first-class series at the moment. At the moment, but I'm showing up because I know that this is helping. I know that these episodes are being a contribution because thank you for all of your messages. I am getting direct messages into my inbox, into my WhatsApp, into my DMs, just saying how much this is helping. And that's the point. Does it matter if I fluff my words every now and again? I don't know. And if it is, if someone's judging me, cool, go ahead. I don't really care. Because what I do care about is making sure that I can support you and your mental well-being so that you can create a life that you love, a life that inspires you and that fulfills you, a life of impact, a life with ease and joy, a life that you are truly living as opposed to living on repeat, as opposed to living on autopilot, as opposed to living way beneath the joy that you can experience, the expansiveness of this life and living that you can experience because you keep self-sabotaging yourself. So I'm here showing up, imperfections and all, and I'm totally fine with that. I'm good with that. And I hope that you'll be good with it for yourself too. So can I invite you to be more gracious with yourself, to have more acceptance? If anything, have a good laugh at yourself. Stop taking it so seriously, because unless you are a surgeon and this is life and death, nothing else really is. And don't shoot me for saying that, because you might say, yeah, my job is important. I get it. So is mine. I don't want to disappoint my clients. I don't want to let my clients down. I get it. None of us do. But the difference is I'm not berating myself for not achieving what I had set as a target to get the A+, to get the gold star. Do I still want the gold star and the A+? Of course I do. It's good for my ego. But it's not as fun living that way and showing up that way the whole time. So where can you focus on progress and not perfection so that it can introduce some ease and more relaxation into your life so that you can breathe? Thank you for being here. Please share this with a friend. Tag someone if this was a contribution for you. Please share it on. I would love to create this beautiful community of people that are just applying these tools and that things are changing. I know it's changing, and I would love to hear from you if this is helping as well. So it would be great if you could leave a comment for us so we can see what your insights are and inspire others as well, because your story can be the inspirational story for someone else to change their life. So thank you so much. I adore you. Have a beautiful day, evening, weekend, whenever you're watching this. And thank you for being here.